Okay, so we are discussing about reference lines. So reference lines is basically to show the target line like this. So to show whether my subcategories are crossing that particular target line or not. So here I have given a target line of $100,000. So these are the subcategories. The ones which are in blue color are crossing the $100,000, and ones which are in orange color are not crossing the $100,000. So that I can specify using this reference line. So I can edit this reference line, and in the reference line I have a lot of options, and this we can do for per pane, for entire table, and per cell. So in this current scenario, as I'm using only one particular dimension, so I can see the result for per pane and per entire table, it is same. Okay, it is same for everything. So if I go to reference line, here I have taken I have added one more dimension, which is category. So I also have a subcategory. So basically when I have two dimensions, Tableau will create panes. So it is just categorizing furniture related subcategories into one pane, and office supplies related subcategories into one pane, like that for technology as well. So if we go here, so this is the outer rectangle that you see. So it's basically the table, and the inner rectangles that you see, so these are the panes. So for each and every category, there is a pane. So there are 3 panes in this. And in earlier discussions that we have discussed, so while we were discussing about table calculation, so here also we are using 2 dimensions. So same 2 day dimensions, one is quarter and the other one is month. So here also you can see Tableau is creating one pane. So which, yeah, it is getting denied. So I'm usually I get add button, right? So it is getting denied by mistake. Let me ping. Hello. Hi Priyanka, can you able to hear us? Oh, okay. Okay, then so we are discussing about this reference lines. So in this reference lines we have, so when we take 2 dimensions, so panes will be created. So when you don't have 2 dimensions like this, so in this scenario I have taken only 1 dimension. So here I can see only table and pane both are same in this. And when you take 2 dimensions, a table and pane are different. So when I say that, so let's say edit. So I can do per pane separately and entire table separately. So I will show you how to do that. So let me just do a duplicate. So I want to add the reference line for the average. So here I have entered a static number, which is $100,000. So instead of $100,000, I will add average. So it will do the average. So let me do it for the entire table. When I do it for the entire table, it will be the average for the total sum of sales divided by the number of subcategories. So what will be the total sum of sales? So as we know, total sum of sales is 23 lakh 523. Let me take this. 23 lakh 26,534 is the total, divided by 17 subcategories. So there are 17 subcategories. So 1,36,854 is the average value. So that value is been, so for that we are getting the reference line. So I have not added any specific value there. So Tableau is automatically calculating the average. for entire table, and it is providing a reference line. And we can see, so we can see that there are some subcategories which are crossing the line. So these are the subcategories which are crossing the average line. The ones which I highlighted. So these subcategories are crossing the average value of the total sales. So now let's see. So this is for the entire table I have done. So let's say if I edit this reference line and if I make it for pain and say okay. So when I do it for pain, you can see for pain it is different. So the average for these values are different, and average for office supplies is different, and average for technology is different. So it is different because, so if you see here, so it will take the total of all these values which are there in furniture category, which is 754,748. 754,748 divided by 4, which will give you 1,88,687, which is the average of only furniture related subcategories. So I want to know whether how many subcategories which are crossing the average total. So there are 2 subcategories which are crossing the average, and these are the 2 subcategories which are not even crossing the average value. That means these 2 subcategories are performing better compared to other 2 subcategories. So in the same way, it is calculating for everything. I'm just selecting these values. So which is 731,893 divided by 9. 731,893 divided by 9. So which will give me 81,321. 1, 2, 3. 731,893 divided by 9. Okay. So average value is 81,321. So when I hover on that line, you can see the average equal to 81,321. So now let's see. So there are multiple options. So I'm just editing the reference line. So now let's see one by one. So I have taken average here. So here it is showing you the computation. So what is the computation that we are doing? We are doing average. So here it is showing as a text. So what do you want to see here? We can decide in this pop-up. So we can select. See, we can show the value also. So we can directly show the value. So 81,321 is the average of these office supplies subcategories. So if I want to show, if I don't want to show anything, I will say none. So it will remove everything. So value will show the value of the average, and computation will show what is the computation that we are doing, whether we are doing sum, average, min, max. That is a computation which will show. And when we enter custom, so you can enter any custom message, average of sales. You can enter some custom message. So if you want to show only the field name, so field name is the sales. So these are the some static or dynamic names which you want to give, you can give. Computation is what average, sum, like that. So this way we can give custom messages as well. So usually it's better to give value. So it's better if you know, if you want to see the value, so click on value. So if you want to do, yeah, sorry, can you repeat? Computation is not sum, no? It's an average. We are doing average, right? Reference line, we are doing average. We are not doing sum. Sum, if you take, it will show this total. Total, it will show you. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, so here we are doing average, right? So that is the computation. So you can see on the label, reference line. So here you see the name, right? Average. Okay, so whatever I'm changing it here, so I should be, so you can see my cursor, right? So if I want to show computation, it is showing me computation. So if I select instead of average, if I want to show minimum, you can see it is changed to minimum. So it is showing me what is the computation that I'm doing on reference line. If I do maximum, so it will go to maximum and it will show you you are doing the maximum computation. Okay, so you don't want to show the computation, whether you are doing average or max, min. You don't want to show the computation. Say none. It will not show you anything. It will just show you the line itself. Or if you want to show the value, 335,768 is the maximum value. So you can decide that. So you can, if you want to show value or computation, so what you want to show on top of the line, we can decide. Or you want to show some custom message, like just type mem, so people will understand it's a maximum reference line. Like mx, yeah. So the message that you want to show on top of the reference line can be decided in this pop-up window. So the values will differ based on entire table. So when you do average, so if you select entire table, it will do average for 17 subcategories. So you see only one line for entire table. When you do per pen, you see different 3 lines. For each category, you see 3 lines. And options are same for entire table or per pen. So you can see what you want to show on top of the line. You can decide whether you want to show the computation, or you want to show the custom message, or you want to show the value, or you don't want to show anything. You can see the on top of this line. So if I control from here, something is changing here. So value, if I want to show, you can see value is coming up. If I change to computation, the computation, what is happening on the reference line, it is showing. Or if I want to show some custom message, I can show the custom message. Actually, this is average. I will put AVG. So like this, I can put some custom messages as well. So you need to understand the difference between entire table and the per pen. So per pen, so entire table will do. So this entire, the outer rectangle, so it will consider all the 17 subcategories and you can see only one line. And when you do per pen, so for this pen, what is the average? So it will consider only 4 subcategories. That means it will do sum of only those 4 subcategories and it will divide by 4. In that way, you will get the average for each category. So when I do per pen, you can see there are 3 different lines for each category and you can see the values. And you can put a reference line on basis of your interest. So let's say if you want to put for 100,000, so it is same. So you're just putting a constant number. So it will be same across all the paints. But if you mention average, so average will be different for each and every category. So average value of furniture will be different. Average value of office supplies will be different. And technology will also be different. So that is about reference lines, per pane and entire table. So per cell is nothing but a data point. So if you take average or minimum or maximum per cell, it will be same. So it won't differ. So if you enter some constant value like, so, so it will show you a line. Or otherwise, if you take minimum or maximum per cell, it will be same. Why? Because if you take maximum of bookcases, so whatever is the value of bookcases, it will show you that only. If you consider chairs, it will take only chairs. So that way you can do per cell as well. So in parcel also we have these options, and what is the message that you want to show, that can also be shown. So it is actually showing you the same number on top of that. So we have used label, right? So that is why it is showing you two. Yeah. So if you remove that, you can use it like this. So if you want to show a border line on top, so you can use a reference line. So this way you can use parcel as well. So parcel is nothing but for each and every data point. And now let me show you. So we can do some formatting changes for the reference lines. So you can color. So let me show you per pane. So let's take average, or let's start from entire table. Okay, I want to color. So you can design this line. So how you want to keep that line? So you want to show some dotted lines, or you want to color something. So you can do that. So usually use black color. If you want to use like this, you can change the colors, and you can fill above like this. You can fill above, or if you want to fill below also, fill below with some different color. Like this, you will be able to understand which all subcategories are above this target target line, and which are all subcategories below this target lines. So you can clearly identify that by creating the reference line. So this is per for entire table. So you can see for entire table it is showing you only one line. And when I change this to per pane, so now I will change this to per pane. So as the averages are different for each and every category, so you can see different coloring. So on basis of that reference line, above that reference line you can put one color, and below that reference line you can put a different color. So this is what you can color. So this is how you can format the things. And if you want to use per cell, per cell, it will consider every value. I mean, every data point will be considered, and it is just coloring that. So it is not better to use that. So it's good to have for entire table and per pane. And design wise, it will look good. So that is about reference lines. So now let's edit this reference line. Okay, so that's about line. And we have one more option, which is band. Okay, so in band, it will have the range. So we can decide one starting range and one ending range. So here also we have entire table, per pane, per cell concept is similar across all these four: line, band, distribution, and box plot. In line, you will have only one line. So let's say if we go to, yeah. So in line, you are able to see only one reference line. Like this, you are able to see. So starting from 100,000. So you want to see whether it is in that particular range or not. $100,000 it is crossing or not. And if you see, so I'll give you an example. Let's say I want, let's say I'm opening a software industry. So I need employees, and I have different ages employees. So I have people like 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 70. So I have names like this, and I have people like this: 32, 35, 40, 60. So let's have this information. So let me save this. I'm just connecting to that age file. So when I'm opening a software industry, I want to see people from different ages. I want to have people in the range of they should be having age in between 25 to, let's say, 45. So I don't want more than the persons who are having more than 45. So let me take this name, employees, and their age. So I have this list of names, and some people are having more than 45, and some people are having they are in the range of 25 to 45. So now let's see. So I'm just adding a reference line. So by using line, I can choose, I can identify, let's say, if I enter constant value. So these are the people. So let's say almost everyone is more than 25 age only. So with this reference line, I can identify. So most of the people are in the range of or above 25 age. So I can consider all the employees. But I have one more condition also. So what is the other condition I have? 45. So I need to show 45 age also. I need to see the employees who are in the 25 to 45 range. I don't want the above 45 people. So for that, what I will do is I will edit this reference line. I'll go to band. Okay, so here I can decide starting range and the ending range. So here I will specify 45. Say okay. So yes, there are only specific people. So Ajay is there, Banu, Raju, Renu, Usha. So only these candidates who I have highlighted are in this range. So I want to highlight only the people uh, within 25 to 45. So I can visualize who are in the band. So I want only these people who are just meeting the criteria. So that is how we can make use of this reference line. So that way, if you go to our previous examples, so edit reference line. So here also we have one more option. So here it is taking minimum and maximum. So minimum of all the values and maximum of all the 17 subcategories. So instead of that, if you want to enter some specific constant value, you can specify 100,000. And here you can specify 200,000. So you can directly see which are the subcategories which are falling in this bucket, 100,000 to 200,000. So you can see, so you have to find out only those subcategories which are in this bucket, in this band, whatever subcategories that you see, only those has to be selected. So there are some subcategories which are crossing the band. So we don't want that also. So if you go into this example that we have taken, so Vasu, Sheshu, Rani, Basha, all these persons are not in this band. They are crossing that band. So they are not in the age limit. As they are not in this band, so we can we don't want that people to be considered for the new organization. So that type of decisions we can take by creating the visualizations in Tableau. So let me edit this reference line. So here you can keep per table and per pane. So per pane, when you put constant value for entire table and per pane, it is same when you take some constants. Even per cell also it is same. Okay, so if you take constant value, it will be same for per pane, per table and per cell, it is same. But when you take minimum, it will be different, minimum and maximum. So minimum of all values, minimum of, so on what basis you want to do minimum, that you can decide here, per pane or entire table or per cell. So that we can decide here. So when you are taking these computations, the values will be differing based on entire table and per pane and per cell. Yeah. So it depends on your requirement. So if you go to the Excel that I have created, in this case, I need specifically people from 25 to 45. So I have to enter specific number. So then I will use a constant. But in case of sales and all, it is better you choose. So that's an age, right? Age, I know I need people from 25 to 45. So I can enter some specific constant. But in case of sales, it is not like that. So you can use minimum and maximum, those type of computations you can use. Sorry, can you repeat that? Hmm, 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 that cannot be arranged, no? So if you want some band, you cannot take average. Average when you take, right? That won't make sense. You won't see any line. Even if you see, if I put same numbers, so let's say 100,000, 100,000, band meaning itself, you need to have some starting number and some ending number you need to have. If you give same numbers, you don't even see the line itself. Band itself meaning you need to have a start number and a ending number. Let's say you enter 100,000 here and you enter 200,000 here. Then it makes sense. But if you are using average for both, then it will not make any sense. If you take average and in other case you take maximum, then it will show you something. But in both the places you can't take average. So that means you are taking the same value. It will not show you anything. Yeah. So that is about bands. And here also you can do the formatting changes. So you can fill above, you can decide how the line has to be. So you can decide that, and what you want to fill on top, not top, you can color the band, how you want the band color to be. So this you can decide. So that is about formatting. Let's put this. Okay, so now let's go to distribution. So in distribution, we can specify the percentage. It is also similar to band itself, but here you can specify value instead of average, minimum, maximum, and constant values. You can specify some mathematical standard percentages. Let's say 60, 80. 60% of total value, 80% of total value. or yeah, so you can here you can take average. When you take 60% of average value, let's say 100,000 is a average. What is the 60% of 100,000? It is 60,000. And 80% of 100,000, it is 80,000. So 60,000 to 80,000, it will create a band. Otherwise, if you want to enter constant, again it will become, so yeah, constant. Let's say you mentioned 100,000, so it will automatically take 60,000 and 80,000. So for that, it will create a band. So like that, we have some percentile, quantile, standard deviation. These are some finance related calculations. So it will also be similar to, you can select 95 percentile like that. So here also you can do per pane and entire table. Yeah. Hmm. So what is the average for this one? So average will be 23,26,534 divided by 17. Divided by 17 is the average. So 1,36,000 is the total value. What is the 80% of this one? So 0.80, which is 1,09,000. So 1,09,000 is the 80% value. And if you multiply this with 0.6, you will get 60%. So 1,09,000 and somewhere around 80,000 or 90,000 will be your 60% value. So that is what it is creating. Okay, yeah. If you want to fill above, you can fill above. Fill below, you can fill below. Like this, you can fill. So that is about distribution and box plot. So now I'll show you box plot. So let's take the same example. So I'll take employees and I'll take age and I'll click on box and whisker plot. So box and whisker plot will identify the outliers. So when I say outliers, so let's say for a movie, you have some ratings. There's people, most of the people are giving 7, 8, 8, 7, 9. Like this, people are giving like this. All of a sudden, there will be some people, all of a sudden, they might give you 1 rating and 2 rating or 1 rating. So most of the times you got 7, 8, 9. Most of the times you got, and suddenly you got a rating as 1. So this is called an outlier. When I say outlier, we should not be considering this. Like most of the people, so if most of the people are giving a high rating and suddenly some person is giving a low rating, so we should not be considering that. Why? Because we should consider uh, majority leads. So we should consider the majority of the people. So that is why. So by using this particular chart, so it will highlight the outliers. So if we go to the data that we have taken, so I'll just sort it. I'll go here, data, and click on sort by age, smallest to largest, and say okay. Okay, so I have these many ages. So I want to see what is the average age. So average age is actually 45.7. So the people around 45.7 should be considered. So there are, I mean, to identify what age people are there in this particular list. So let me go into the data. So these people who are in this band that you see, So around 45, 55, 40. So all these are in the exact range. So people who are near to 45.5 are in this range, and these are like outliers. So 25. So most of the people are near to 45, and this 25 is an outlier, and suddenly there is a 70 age guy is also there. So these are some outliers basically. That means most of the people are in the range of 45. The data that you see here, so most of the people are in the range of 45, like people are near to 45. So that we can identify by using box and whisker plot. So you just need to put that particular column, and you can identify, you can go here and you can click on this. So by using this chart, so we can able to know what age people are more in that particular data, and we can see what are the outliers. So we don't need to be considering the people who are in the age of 70 and 25. Why? Because most of the people are in the range of 45, like near to 45. And these people are like outliers. Ajay and Vasu are the outliers. So that is about box and whisker plot. So any questions related to reference lines? Yeah, Rakib. Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. No, let's say let's say this is my company. So these are my employees. So I want to know what age people are there in my company. Most of the people. So I cannot say by seeing Ajay, I cannot say my employees are like young people are my employees. I cannot say that. And I cannot say by seeing Vasu, I cannot say that in my company I have only older people. So I cannot say that. So I should say based on the majority of the people. So by creating this chart, I can say most of the people are in the range of starting from 35 to ending from 55. So most of the people are in the range of 35 to 55. But by only considering Vasu and by only considering, I cannot say I have people only younger people are there in my company. I cannot say that. And by seeing only Vasu, I cannot say that only older people. I have people who are in the range of 35 to 40, 55. Most of the people are in the range of 35 to 55. So I can see in that box. So these are my average people. So I need to consider that. Is it clear? Yes. So let's say if I have data like 26, 27, 28, 30, 32, 27, 26, and this is 24. Let's save this. And now let's update this. Refresh. Okay, so most of the people are in this box. So if you see 70, so he's an outlier. We should not be considering it. I can say I have people in the range of 25 to 30. Okay, so he is an outlier. With by considering this person, I cannot say I have old people in my company. I cannot say that. I have younger people in my company. So people who are in this range, starting from 26 to 30, there are more people. Considering 26 to 30, I have more people here. So that I can consider. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . एक से ज्यादा हम्म yes, 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 correct. So it will show you outlier so that you should not consider itself. So by seeing this data, you can directly say that what needs to be considered and what not needs to be considered. Yeah, so that is about reference lines. So we have one more topic, which is dashboard creation. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about dashboard creations. Uh, So the tomorrow's topic is very important. Why? Because preparing the worksheets, preparing the calculations is as important as putting the worksheets in the dashboard. So I'll just show you. Let's say if I create any chart, let's say sales category and sales category. This I will create some pie chart and sales subcategory remap, and this I will create a line chart. For line chart I need to take, I need to be taking this month, show trend line. Okay, so this is line chart, remap, pie chart, and bar chart. So if you go into the dashboard, put it in the automatic. So I'll just take these charts. So I'm just showing a brief thing about this one. So tomorrow we'll discuss on how to create this. So I'll just make this. So this is a presentation mode. So after you prepare any worksheet, so this is how you need to represent your data. So you need to create borders and everything. So you need to know. So in the previous sessions and all, we have discussed about calculations. We have discussed about how to create the worksheets, how to create the different varieties of charts and all that we have discussed. We have also discussed about action filters. So it is as important as how we created all this worksheet. So keeping the worksheets in one particular dashboard is also very important. So presentation is very important. So once you create any worksheets, you have to present in a good way so that people will understand, and this needs to look very good. Why? Because so when I say, so you have to make create in a consistent way. If you see the border lines that you see here, so it is consistent across. So it has to look neat. So I'll tell you what are the steps that you need to take, and I'm going to cover all the best practices to create the dashboard. So we'll discuss that tomorrow. So try to attend tomorrow's session for sure. Why? Because it's very important to know that we how to keep the worksheets in the dashboard. So creating worksheets, calculations is also important, and putting the dashboard and making it look presentable. So that is also very important. Yeah. So with that, we'll end this session. So any other further questions before we end the session? Priyanka and Rakib. Tomorrow only we'll discuss. Okay, then thank you all for joining. We'll continue tomorrow. Yeah, thank you.